It's the same dog shit as before. Okay. It's gonna be a bit annoying. Yeah. You'll get the link in a second, bro. Gonna take a while to set this up. You'll get the link in a second, bro. Alright, so we need to copy this chats. Got it. We need to copy this chats. So, I was trying to connect differently than before, using my account, but it's, for some reason, it doesn't really work. So I'll have to try and figure out why that is. So we have to use the stupid docking system like before, which is kind of annoying. Hey, Azen. Okay. Now, instead of top chat, we definitely switch to live chat. Okay, then we can... I think we can close this now. And I hope that the quality will be good. Is the quality good? Because it should be 1080p. Is the quality good? Yeah, that looks good to me. Very important that the quality is high when I'm streaming. Alright, okay, so we have this Vampire Survivors clone. And I want to add in audio into the engine over here. And in order to do that, I obviously want to look at how I did it in my game. Does someone just subscribe to YouTube? Thank you, thank you. Where's that? X audio. Any top chatters? However, yo, hello there, super cool.
Hello, YouTube.
Oh yeah, I remember chat overlay. We can use the chat overlay. Yeah. I have that. I still have that. That was incredibly delayed, really. Sign into chat. All messages sent will appear public. Ah, fuck off. This is dog shit. Sitting outside the balcony just to speed on. Just a speedo on now. And it's colder than expected. Yeah, it's quite cold as well. I was outside in the morning today. That's true. So we need those two for X audio, and then we need to create at least our own voice, so we know when something started and stopped playing.
Get over here!
Oh, someone followed on Twitch. Thank you, sir. And we also need to add something into the build.batch file into our links. Oh, we already have a lot in the links. You do hate the summer, huh? Why do you not like the summer, Azen? The summer's great. Looks like we need only 32.lib. Sound ID. Sound type, sound controls. We don't need any of that. We just need to know if a sound is playing. Title, undeclared identifier. Oh yeah, right. Need to add that back in. With height, undeclared. What the fuck did I do? Already getting problems? Oh wait, I have two platform create windows, right. Okay. Yeah, okay, now it works. So, we just added X audio to our engine. And what we need is a voice that allows us to look at what is playing and what is not playing. And I think I will just copy over the rest, or most of it too. Because I think I've done a good job in my engine setting this up. And for now, I think we just want to have one mastering voice. We need a device, we need a mastering voice, and we need a bunch of voices. I love this. I think I will copy the state right here as well. Wait, that's not it. But instead of using our own submixes, I think we just use the voices and go directly to the mastering voice. I don't want this to be confusing. So we just have voices, and let's say at most we have max playing sounds voices. And that is something we changed in the config. Somewhere below rendering, where we called audio. Max playing sounds. And let's put this to 5 at the moment. This is audio. Okay, so far so good. Oh yeah, it's actually running the game. We should close that for now. Because we are working on the executable, so there's no point in leaving it open. And now we need to have a global variable maybe we'll put it right here.
This project has hot reloading. It's more advanced than your main one.
Okay, yeah, it is. In terms of that, it actually is, yeah. So we have this X audio state, global variable, and we need to initialize that. So in init, renderer, I think it's called, or is it GL init? Yeah, we initialize OpenGL, we set vertical sync, and then we initialize audio. But we X audio init. And I don't remember if we need anything in order to initialize that. But we'll figure that out. Probably bool X audio init. So for that, I need to read again. Yeah, we need to copy all of this. We need the wave format. Oh yeah, we don't need these voice sends though. So first, we initialize xaudio2. Then we try to create a device. And then we create a mastering voice. And then after that, we need to set up the voices. We need to copy them.
The main one being at .rich.tv/Cakez is a 77 hashtag ad.
We need to create a voice. This is what we do here. And then we can do a to-do here. Submixes can be used to act as sound groups, allowing us to control volume only for a certain type of sound. Skipped here because it's easier without. Okay, so now we need to know how many voices we have, and that is max playing sounds. Okay, now we need to get the voices from the xaudio state of voices. Voice. And we don't have any, this voice sense over here, this parameter is what would use it. Send audio to submix here. Okay, I think this is almost everything we need. Submix undeclared identifier. Submix voices. Voice callback. Oh, I see. This is voices. Voice callback. So xaudio state of voices, I think. Yeah. And I wish this wasn't so big, so large. Maybe this is easier to read. What do you think? Let's see if it works. Seems to have initialized without any errors. Meaning the game should run. Now we just need to have a function to play a sound. Oh, Pika Pika. Ending a line with, yeah, I know. it's kind of cringe, but where would you end the line otherwise? Do we have a sound? We don't. We need to interact with new. Vampire Survivors clone. We go into source and then we do sound.h. Wrong one once. Okay, what do we need? We need an enum sound ID. Sound background. And we could also do for later sound slash. Do we have a slash sound? Schlitz? Oh, we could do Schlitz, right? Sound Schlitz. Sound count. Okay, then we need to be able to get sound data, which takes in the sound ID and returns a char pointer to the data. That is just the data, or it returns a struct sound where we have int size in bytes and a char pointer to the data. We call it get sound. And I think what we could do to make our lives a little bit easier, we could have this struct sound state, which is basically a little bit of memory and an array of allocated sounds. And then I guess we have an int bytes used and a char pointer to a buffer. Something like that. So the reason why I'm doing that is because a sound is going to need some sort of buffer to allocate the data into. I mean, we could do it like Real Superku does as well and allocate from the disk. But I guess what you're managing the memory in a way that you're doing new and delete, right? Real Superku or malloc and free. So as you load in a sound, you load it from the disk, you have it in the buffer, and then you allocate that sound using malloc. And then once you think you don't need it anymore, you're deallocating it. Yep. I guess I'll implement everything here. I don't want to have a C++ file. And this could give us a sound pointer. But this stuff should be in the platform layer, I think. I only want to be able to play sounds and that's it. do. So let's remove it from the platform function. Platform layer, but it should be a platform layer thing though. And get sound is also something that, yeah. Let's implement platform play sound. And we need to make sure that this is implemented. Hey Mio, I've only ever used game engine libraries to play sound. What are you ultimately interfacing with? What you're interfacing with is buffers usually. Thankfully nowadays it's a little bit easier, I think, than before. You can always make it as complicated as you want to, but what you're interfacing with is a system where you supply a piece of memory that is supposed to be your sound to this sound library from Windows. You're basically using Windows's sound library. You're not using anyone else's library but the one from Windows directly. And Windows asks you to give you a piece of memory and tell Windows how long that piece of memory is and how many times you want to loop that and how loud that should be. And then you're like, okay, here's my piece of memory. I loaded in the file. That's where I copied that file into the data. And here is the size, how big that sound is. And then Windows is like, oh, thank you very much. I'll save myself a pointer to the buffer that you gave me. And for as long as the sound is playing, Windows is just going to read from the buffer at an offset and do the mixing and all of that for you. You can, if you want to, mix everything yourself into one buffer and then give that to Windows. That is also possible. I have done that with DirectX and that was dog shit. Hello, finally you're back to Vampire Survivor C++. My man! I'm glad you like it. Yes, I will finish the game. I will finish it, yeah. Glad you like it. We are working on audio at the moment. Did that help you, Mio? So basically, you will see, but right now I'm working on the interface of loading in a sound. So if I'm playing a sound, then I first look at the sound state to see if it is already allocated. And what I'm doing right here is not interfacing with X audio at all. I'm just writing some, what you call that? What do you call that? Organizational code or something that you have to write because you don't want to like manually load in the sound in the game. You just want to say in the sound, in the game, play me a sound. And that's all you get, or that's all you want to do in the game. I don't like that. But this is somehow reversed, but we have to do it like this. And sounds.h need to include platform.h, which is dog shit. Okay. Obviously this design is not perfect. Oopsie. Sound undeclared identifier. Yeah, we are including it now. And it was dog shit. It's a good end to the story. Max allocated sounds undeclared identifier. Of course, we also need to include config. Of course. Huh? Might have a typo. Max playing. Oh, I see. We don't have a max allocated sounds yet. I don't know. Let's try to allocate 10 at most. But it doesn't really matter how many sounds we allocate. Allocated sound count is not a member. It's called allocated sounds count. Okay, so we are looking through the sounds. And if the sound... oh, we need the type, lol. If the sound ID is the same as sound ID, then obviously we have found our sound and we break. Yeah? Once we have that, right? So we are trying to find an allocated sound. If we don't, then we need to load the sound from the disk. Load a new file from disk and copy that into the sound state. So essentially, now we need to have some sort of init function, or we already have one. Oh, it's called init x audio init. Okay. I'm going to make it simple. Very simple. Let's not call it x audio init, but init sound. Right? And then we can look at the sound state. We need to allocate a bunch of memory here. We need to allocate persistent memory. And all it wants from us is how much? Max sound buffer size, I guess. What do you call a memory collection? Like a memory buffer? Max sound buffer? And then if sound state.buffer doesn't exist, then we return false and give an assertion. Fail to allocate sound buffer. Let's call it max bytes. Okay, that's the next one. Const expression int max bytes sound buffer. Which, let's say it's megabyte 50. Init sound. Or let's call it init audio. Init audio. And then we can also make a nice section here that says X audio 2. Because that's cool, right? Ho ho ho! Okay, now we have our voices set up. We have our sound buffer set up. Now we just need to play a sound. We need to load from a file and we need to have a sound. So for that, we actually need to check if we have sounds in the Vampire Survivors clone. Building complete and Cakez 2 header. Okay, how about we get some real sounds? I don't have... Is there like a cover of Vampire Survivors? To download? Soundtracks for free, Vampire Survivors soundtracks. Damn, I could just download it? Hello, hey, Gijik. What's up, Cakez? Hello there. I'm making sounds. I'm adding sounds to the engine. Yeah, I'm not a good sound designer. I don't know if I should be making sounds or if I should just download them. I guess we'll just download that sound and... Did I download it? No? Eh? Oh, you have to right click and then save audio as. Practice makes perfect. Yes, we will get to that at some point, but right now... Copper, green intent. Let's save that for now. This is more about the programming of audio than making the audio, but maybe if I have enough time tomorrow, we could look into Reaper and then make a sound there. Could see myself doing that. Can I not put that? No! You dumbass! Oh, God. Sorry. Alright, now we put this and open this with Audacity. And we need to change the sample rate to 48,000 and we need to export that as a WAV file. And I don't know why this is not smart enough to understand where this file is coming from, but okay. I didn't know Reaper had synthesizers, just borrow their VSTs. Yeah, I will borrow the VSTs. I already know, like Cuboid Bullet can help me with that. He has... Okay, how big is that? What's the size? 37 megabytes just for this. Yeah, that's perfect. Anyways. Okay. Okay, we need to do file, char, file, or sound file is platform read file. And it takes in a path and a file size. Actually, we don't need to sprint F, we just hard code the correct sound. So we have a global variable char pointer, which is const, I guess. And that would be the sound files array. Starting this stream back up, huh? Yeah, exactly. Russi Adi. I'm glad you're joining. We appreciate that. I don't like having not finished a project. And I would like to finish this project by adding in sound and adding in a... what is that called? Adding in a loose condition. Wind. We have a loose condition, but we don't have a wind condition. So we need a boss or some sort of thing at the end. And we need to have alternating enemies. So enemies that get progressively stronger. So a little bit of balancing and then a boss at the end would be nice. And then we need to make sure that enemies collide with terrain as well. So all of that. I should probably write that down, otherwise I forget. So loose wind condition. And then boss, balance. And yeah, the audio is... We'll see how much audio we actually put in. But I think I will just put in the soundtrack. Which is what we're doing right now. And then if people want, they can add in more sounds. If they want to extend this a little bit. How do we static assert, by the way? Array size of sound files has to be the same as sound count. Is that how you static assert? Then can you do an AND check as well with a string? Like sounds, sound ID and sound files mismatch? Is that possible? Let's copy over Schlitz. And watch. Where's Schlitz? There we go. Schlitz! Oh yeah. Perfect. Oh yeah, and that needs to be 48,000, and I think it also needs to be stereo. I think it needs to be stereo, so... we copy the entire thing. Make a new track. Mono track. Oh yeah, this track. Wait. How's this track 48 and this one is 25? 20. Is that a problem? then tracks, mix, and render. Do I need to select both tracks? Tracks, mix, and render to new track. No. How do I generate? Dude. Oh, wait. One of them goes to the left. The other one goes to the right. And then you do tracks, mix, and render. Ah, there we go. Perfect. Okay, now that needs to be exported. This WAV file. Schlitz. I just love adding in these basic things into the game. It's nice having something easier to work on for once in a while. That feels so good. Sound file, undeclared identifier. Oh, sound files. Platform read file. Okay, cool. It works. I wonder if this string will show up. Let's see. Static assertion. No, it doesn't. Okay, sad. When is your TD coming to Steam? Oh, Cloudless Studio. The TD is on Steam already. But the current version of the game that I'm working on is not yet. Currently, I'm working on this, by the way. Working on skill trees. Being able to allocate and deallocate nodes. And so far, it works quite well. And so it will take a couple more weeks to months for me to finish down everything, and I also have added items. So I also have not made a devlog about that at all. And so I want to get everything ready to put like a ginormous update on Steam and then really work on the Steam page, making it very, very nice and neat and make a cool trailer and stuff like that. So this year for sure. That's all I can say right now. Because I do not want to give false promises. But this year for sure. And I can see this happening in the next couple of weeks. 2 months. Again, like the skill tree is one part. And then you need to also balance. Which is probably going to take a while. Empire Survivors, Remedy VG. Get rid of this. Go to the next. Is there a way to switch between applications faster than this? Because that's kind of annoying. Exciting Can't Rant. Really liked the demo. Really? You did? Cool! I'm glad you liked the demo, man. Cool. Awesome. If you have any feedback, I guess there is feedback on the Discord channel already, yeah. If you wanna put on any feedback, you can write that on Discord. I have a ginormous stack of feedback. But platform play sound. Sound ID. Okay, platform read file. That should be sound files on sound ID. Platform read file does not take. Oh yeah, and then int file size 0, and it takes a pointer to file size. Cannot convert from const char to char pointer. This is why I don't use const then. Fine. Fuck you. From int pointer to you in 32T. Oh, great. Sound file. Okay, so we have this sound file, and then we just need to check if we get the sound file. If we could actually open it, because it's this one is going to be very large. And then we need to copy that, or we need to find find the data of the sound, of the wave file. And I have done that before, so I'm not going to write that again. It must be in sound C++. So essentially, oh, I need a data struct. I need some data. Wave loader. Okay, how do we do that? We basically need to get this header right here and this data chunk. So what we need to do is every wave file starts like this. And then after this header, there's a different chunks. And every chunk has an ID and a size in bytes. And we need to loop through these chunks until we find a data chunk. And that data chunk, over here, contains the audio data, the actual data that we are interested in. And then the size of that chunk will tell us how long the sound is in bytes. And so we need to do a while loop like that to find it. It's actually very little amount of work, right? It's just 3 lines or 4 lines of code. But we need those structures for this. And they need to be defined somewhere. And I guess I'll just define them in sound. Whoops. Okay, and there's one thing that we probably have to copy too, which is this 4cc macro. Basically, this macro makes it so that we can check a character array for a string. It basically looks at the character array and compares that to a string that we can put in. And I don't know if I have that in the defines here. Looks like I don't. Actually, I want to break that up here. File undeclared identifier. Okay, that's good. Seems like everything else compiled. So that would be the sound file. And this is transient memory. This is not memory that will stay allocated, the sound file. So once we have the data chunk, once we found the data chunk, we then need to copy that into the sound. So we need to get ourselves a new sound. So first of all, if we don't find a sound that is already allocated, we look at the... We gotta grab ourselves a new sound, but only if... If the count is still less than what we have put into the config earlier. How many sounds we want to allocate, right? 10. So we only want to have a maximum amount of sounds we can allocate. And also, we need to make sure, and then we get ourselves a new sound. So sound is sound state dot allocated sounds on sound state dot allocated sounds count plus plus. And that is the address of that. So we get ourselves a new and fresh sound. And then once we have this data chunk, we need to check if what is that? Size and bytes and what else? data size. Yeah, if the data chunk dot data size needs to be less than the sound state dot bytes used, I think. Yeah, bytes used. So basically what we are trying to do now is we are trying to copy this sound into our buffer and then have a pointer to that sound in our allocated sounds. It's a pointer to this buffer, which will be our like ginormous or big sound buffer that will that all the sounds will use. And so once we overshoot, we need to bytes used. Once we overshoot 50 megabytes of usage of sound, we will get an error that will tell us we are overshooting. And how did I get the pointer to the sound? I don't know where that is. The sound data is data chunk plus. Okay. Okay, and then sound data is sound state dot buffer on sound state dot bytes used and that address, the address to that. So we're getting a pointer to our buffer and then we have the data of the sound. And then at that point, it should just be a simple copy operation. Yeah, mem copy. That's what we are going to do here too. We mem copy into the sound data using what is the yeah, the sound data, and then the size will be the data chunk dot data size. Now that we have copied the data over, we need to make sure that we increase the bytes used. By however much we copied. That will give us a packed array as long as we don't deallocate any sounds. And I'm pretty sure I need to add in more. The sound needs to have size in bytes. Sound size in bytes is data chunk dot data size, and then the sound ID is sound ID. But we can, yeah, we can do that here. Okay, I don't know if I should do any else cases, like in case we could do a Cakez assert and say exhausted sound buffer. And we could do another assert here. Failed opening file. Or failed loading sound. Cool. Data chunker pointer. Seems like it is. Signed, unsigned mismatch. Can I overshoot an int here? I hope I can't. What is the maximum amount of int? Is it 2 billion? What is the max int? Maximum value of an int. So there's 400 kilobytes, 100 megabytes, 2 tera. Okay, 2 terabytes. So I'm not going to overshoot 2 terabytes. There's no way. On a sound. Cool. And now that we have the sound, all we need to do is look at our X audio state and find a voice that is not playing. Let's open that. So we do, now we need to load in the voice. Now we load in the sound. Load the sound into X audio. Voice EDX is less than max playing sounds. This is the cool thing about X audio, which you just need to find a voice that works. We don't have to sort them or anything. We could just look, and once we find one, we're good. Max playing sounds, and so we get ourselves an X audio voice. X audio voice from the X audio state dot voices on voice EDX, and then if that X audio voice dot is playing, we continue. And if it's not playing, then we need to, now this is more Windows X audio stuff, we need to, and we can get we get that from here. Play sound. Platform update sound. Update sound. Are you dumb? Oh, we have this update sound thing, I see. Because I'm looking at sounds that are supposed to play, okay. I think I should rework my, oh my god, my sound stuff. Goodness. This is so much cooler here, what I'm doing. In the new project. So much easier. Can you please copy this, bro? Please, just copy this. Give me... Please. Just copy this. Please, bro. Just copy this once. Okay, just please. Dude, just please copy this. Please. Why? Is it invisible? It's invisible. Stop! Please, just copy this. What's the major difference? Thank God. You dumb fucking idiot. Thank you. God. Stupid bug. What's the major difference? The major difference is... I have like 2 states that holds playing sounds. And that makes no sense. I should just have what I have in this engine. I should have a list of sounds that are currently allocated, and I have my buffer, my voice buffer. And then I loop through the voices, I find a voice that is not playing, and then I just look at the stuff that is playing. Look at the stuff that is allocated and try to find that. Like what I'm doing here, basically I have one list that is allocated sounds and one list that is the buffers. Hey YouTube. Hello Stucken. Hello there, sir. Stream on YouTube? Yeah. This is so much more simple because you can just read it from top to bottom and it's very, very simple. In my opinion. Look, find open voice, like blah, 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 blah. I already have a voice right here. Now I have this buffer, and then we need to call submit source buffer. If it doesn't, then we do another assertion. Fail to play sound. Sound ID. Twitch contract. Twitch doesn't give a shit if I stream on YouTube, as long as I don't stream on YouTube and Twitch at the same time. I stopped my stream on Twitch and now I started a stream on YouTube. It doesn't matter whether it is on Twitch or on YouTube. As long as they are mutually exclusive. So we have our sound size, sound data, invite, and stream loop count. Currently, we only loop this one. Okay, there's a lot. Number 1, this one. Number 2 is playing. It's not a member of X Audio Voice. I think it is. Okay, it's called playing. That's fine. Size is not a member of sound. You think so? True, it's size and bytes. Data is correct. End of stream. And then the last thing that we need to have is, do we want to loop it or not? Awesome. And loop is going to be a boolean. How long is the last stream? Has the stream been going for now? I forgot when I went outside. 62 minutes, thanks. Can't you see that in the YouTube video? We're almost done. Voy doesn't exist. Yeah, because it's voice. Sound ID is not a member of sound. Wait, it's not? Oh, it's called sound ID. Okay. Function returning a value. Void function returning a value. I see. Oh yeah, when I close, I should see it started 1 hour ago. Okay, so now we have the ability to play sounds. It won't work the first time, and I can only assure you, you should be putting off, you should be unequipping your headsets. Okay? Because if you don't, then you will die. Okay? I'm just saying. I'm going to play a sound right when I'm done in initializing audio. Oh god. How about we don't do that first? We just see if it works at all. How about we just see if we can start the game? Exhausted persistent storage. Okay, so we need more storage. That's fine. We get more persistent storage. 10 megabytes. Okay, bro, we should need at least 100 at this point. Sounds are so fucking huge, especially when they are failed to allocate sound buffer. Aha. We need more. Oh, I see. Wait, it actually allocated the sound buffer. I need to invert that. No. Okay, it looks good. It looks good. Yeah. I will be unequipping my headphones real quick. I'm in the wrong project. Are you guys ready? Shh. Wait, I built the wrong application again. What the fuck, bro? Stop. Okay, okay. Exhausted transient storage. Oh yeah, of course, of course. The transient storage is too small as well. We need 50 megabytes of transient storage. Well, that's good. At least we don't hear anything. That doesn't mean it's not working. We probably forgot. Real Superku forgot to set the volume. We probably forgot to set some sort of connection somewhere. Maybe there is no connection between the voice and the mastering voice. Maybe we actually have to do voice sense. Maybe they just don't have any connections here. Send audio to submix here. So let's see. Create source voice. Or is it optional? If it's optional, then we should at least... Source voice. Source format. Wave. Flags. This is an optional. Wait. This is not optional. We need the voice sense. Okay. Okay. Do we also need the send descriptor then? A pointer list of voice send structures that describes the set of destination voices for the source voice. If there's null, the send list defaults to a single output to the mastering voice created. Oh, if it's null, then it's mastering voice. So we don't need that. So it's already outputs to the mastering voice. Maybe I wasn't setting the volume. Maybe I'm not setting the volume on the mastering voice. We created the voice, but did we set the volume? Do we have to set the volume? Real super cool. Do you remember if you have to set the volume on the voices? Did I actually forget something? Voice no pitch, wave format, stereo, PCM, 16, 48,000. All of that looks good. I'm not sure. Which volume did you forget to set? Because I literally don't hear anything either. Let me see. Submixes, set volume. Submix voice. So maybe I have to set the volume on those? We have a voice here, then we use the voice, xaudio voice.voice. And xaudio voice pointer. And then we set the volume of the xaudio voice.voice. But I'm pretty sure they are being created with voice full. And I'm pretty sure this has to be 1.0f. In my case, I was setting up a sound request manager to be used by the game loop. I didn't set the volume member of the request struct, so explicitly set the volume to 0 afterwards. Okay, so you explicitly set the volume to 0. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that the volume right here is 1. Now, it could also be that the file I'm loading, there is a problem. Or I'm not copying correctly into the sound. That could also be it. Because I don't know if I need that, actually. Okay. How can we make sure that it actually works? Maybe it just never does this. Let's see. We have RemedyBG here. We can go into Win32. And we go into play sound. Let's see what happens here when we start the game. So it doesn't find an allocated sound. It gets a new allocated sound. It reads the file, which looks correct. Gives us the wave format file. And then I'm pretty sure at some point we get the data chunk immediately. We get ourselves a buffer. And then what is that? How big is that? 39 megabytes. That makes sense. Sound size in bytes. And then we skip the data chunk and add the sound data in here. So now we could look into sound data, because that's where it is. So. Wonder how big entry we can get. But they are samples. Look at this. Look at this. This actually looks like samples. Yeah. See these values? Type char. Oh, actually, I shouldn't be doing type char. This needs to be a short pointer, which is even easier. Yeah. See how the values change? I'm a little bit confused that they never go into the 3 digits. Unable to reach process memory? Why? Huh? Okay. 2000 samples need to be there, -2. I'm assuming that it works. 3. I'm assuming it works. So it copies into the sound data. And I'm assuming that works too. Yeah. And then we add to the bytes used in here. 39,000. Not 39 million. And then it tries to find a voice that is not playing. Yeah, this voice is not playing. So we add in the size in bytes, the sound data, and then we submit the source buffer. What am I missing? Oh, I see what I'm missing. How about I start the voice? Okay, boys. It's going to be loud. Cover your ears. Eh? Eh? What? Access violation? Reading location? Eh? I didn't get that before. What did I do? You're the developer of that game? Yeah. I'm making Vampire Survivors a clone, but not the original Vampire Survivors. No, I'm not the original Vampire Survivors person. I'm just making a C++ version of that game. It was submitting the source buffer before. Now it's not. Why? Access violation. Wait, the voice is 0. Why is the voice 0? Yeah. Init sound, init audio. Is it not creating the voices? Oh, I see. This needs to be a pointer. Otherwise the voice is obviously 0, yeah. Okay, boys. Yeah. Be careful. It's going to be loud. I'm pretty sure. Cover your ears. Wait. Let's do half of it, okay? Let's set the volume to half. Ah, man, look at that. About an hour and 20 minutes. Setting up new audio system in an engine. Haha! Okay, let's reduce that by even more. By 80%, okay. Yeah. Still so loud. Oh boy, I mean, I love it. Awesome. Oh yeah. Damn, bruh. Okay, it's too loud and it makes absolutely no difference whether I do volume that or that. Why not? The volume makes no difference. Why? Or maybe it does. How about we set this to like 0.05? Do you create the... Yeah, it does work. I do, apparently. Cool. Okay, now there's one last fix I want to do. Cool. Now we have audio in the game. What's that called? Select skill. No. Select attack. No. Game state menu. We need to have the game state level up. Level up. This one. Because I'm drawing a sprite. Draw enemies. Healing circle. There we go. Sprite effect, healing circle. I added that sprite effect. Which we don't need anymore. Remember when I was trying to do this? It's not needed anymore. Bye, bye, bye. You still need to do git commit and push. But yep. I think I need to do something so the enemies are clearer, easier visible. Attack sounds. Yeah, attack sounds work as well, yeah. God, this is so fun. It's actually a very fun concept. I just love this concept. It's awesome. It is fucking loud and it's blasting my ears. Oh my god. I should probably do 95%, right? Okay, it's a bit loud. Yeah, we do 95%. Cool. Awesome. Yeah. Nice. I would say. Very nice. What is that again? Fetch the ownership, but the current user is to git config global save directory. Yeah. Okay, fine. Git commit minus M. Oh, shit. Edit sounds, edit audio to the game. Good push. Man, I'm happy. I made a lot of progress today on my game and here. Still working on Cakez 3? Yes, Cakez 3 is still in the workings, of course. I will not stop working on that. That's how it looks currently. I'm currently working on skill trees and being able to respec and add more skill, more points. And I have been working on an editor to add more skill trees or add more nodes and all of that stuff. But yeah, tomorrow we will add in more nodes to the skill tree, and after that we do some more Vampire Survivors action as well. I really like working on the game. It was nice to work on that. Okay, guys. Anyways, I'm done for today. We made a lot of progress. I hope you had a good time too. Here too. And you will see me tomorrow. Same time, same place on Twitch. And then most likely we will add in a win condition to the game in Vampire Survivors. But we'll see. I'll give updates on that as we go around. Okay? Have a good day, everyone. Thank you all for joining.